right. So our ad hoc talk to kind of fill some time, not because we don't love her, but simply because it's everybody's done eating. Is Banshee on SECore.info, which is something that I think that everyone in this room and everyone online should know about. So, Banshee, over to you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. First off, my name is Banshee, for those of you who know me from the community, otherwise known as GK Southwick. I'm the Director of Operations for SECore. How many of you are familiar with SECore? Any hands? Yeah? I know Mubix has it as his homepage. Yeah? No? Okay, so how many of you have hoped there was a website out there where you could find all the information security conferences and possibly the CFPs for those conferences? Yeah? Okay, this is your site. That's what we do. That's all we do right now is we're maintaining a database of all the information security conferences around the world, academic, hacker conferences, straight technical conferences, trainings, meetings, meetups, and the big vendor conferences as well, only because they're there and they get a lot of press. We also maintain CFPs for those conferences, and we can send you either an RSS alert or email alerts 3 days before the CFP closes and the day the CFP closes, so you know to get your papers in on time. This is a project of the Open Security Foundation. We're a 501c3. We run data loss database and the OSVDB, which is the open source vulnerability database. You may be familiar with our work with those websites. And this was developed, we went online technically late 2011, and it came about because the president of the company, the CEO, Jake Koons, had missed a CFP that he had really, really wanted to submit to. And he got so pissed off, he decided, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And one of the great things about this is it's not just a calendar, although it is a calendar. Let me pull up the calendar view for you. So if you look here at February, you can see all the conferences that are going on. Obviously, we just finished Shmoocon, and now we're here at Epilogue, which somehow didn't make it onto the... Oh, boo! Did you submit it?
Yes.
You did? Okay. I don't know how it didn't make it on there then.
It's my homepage.
All right, so right now we're very small, and I'm honestly the only full-time employee. And since I'm doing all this data entry by hand, I'm on the eyes, and I've been on international conferences for the last 2 weeks. So I may not have gotten to Epilogue and realized that it was in there.
Click on the date, might not be visible in digital events.
Beg your pardon?
Click on the date, the actual day.
It's okay.
Because the day might be too full for it to show up.
It's all right.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
I don't
huh?
want to feel worse.
So if you go to, you can come to, yeah, really you can. There we go. So basically, as you can see, there's a box right here that says claim this conference. So if you're one of the organizers of this conference, you can claim it. We'll give you admin rights over it, and you can go in and edit the conference as necessary to update the site and add whatever information you need to. This one, obviously, the focus area is general information security. That's all the information that we have on it. And then if you come over here, you can visit the actual event page, and it gives you a basic calendar of where the conference is being held. Now, after the conference has started, you can come back in and you can rate the conference, so we can start maintaining a database of, is this conference even worth going to again? Is it worth my $1,000 for me to fly across the country?
$5,000.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this one's $5,257 to attend.
Are there any conferences that already have reviews up, like comments on the conference? Is it a review section?
No, unfortunately, because we're just getting started and we haven't had that many people that know about the site yet. We're just getting the word out. We don't really have that many.
So the feature is live to be adopted?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Are you? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you opposed to us putting this in our presentations when we do speak?
No. That's no, absolutely not. Please. Well, it was one of the things that says my activity. I'm speaking at this event, I'm attending this event, or I'm watching this event. So if you're speaking at this event, please, absolutely, we're not in the least bit adverse to that. Obviously, you can sign in via Facebook or Twitter, or you can sign up for an account, which is free, of course, because it's Open Security Foundation. We believe all data should be free. You can also search by speciality. Like, say you only want to attend forensics concerts. Yeah, I want to go to forensics concerts. Come on.
It's slow internet.
Yeah, okay.
Just a little faster ballot.
Nice.
Okay, so now it pulls up a calendar. And I don't think we have this activated yet, but one of the things we want to be able to do is search by date and pull up only the recent conferences or coming up conferences. We're working on it. So now you know these are the conferences that you would most likely get benefit from. And we got SANS in there, of course, and full disclosure, I'm also the producer for B-Sides Las Vegas, so I make sure the B-Sides conferences are constantly updated.
Does the material go back? Like when DEF CON posts all their slides and whatnot, do you guys link to that as well, or is there a plan to?
There is a plan to eventually pull that in there, yes. But like I said, we're beta right now. We don't have a full-time data entry person, so this is, even with me doing this 8 hours a day, I'm lucky if I'm able to get in 10 conferences a day with all the information that I have to go in and scrape by hand, because we don't have there's no algorithm to do this. Yes, Casey.
Is there a reason you've got all the historical stuff in there at this point?
For reference, so you can go back and see, you know.
Is there a function to search for active versus historic?
That's what I was saying. Is it's supposed to be, and it's not working, which means I need to go put in a trouble ticket. But yeah, it should be able to search by date. If I was clicking on date here, it should sort by active date. One of the other things that we're trying to instill into SECore is the reporter exchange aspect of it, which basically, if you go in and you sign up and you create an account, you can tell us that you are a speaker, that you're an expert in this, this, and this. We will go through and we will verify that you've actually spoken on it, that you've published papers, that you've gotten good feedback in other venues for your information on that subject. And when reporters come to us and say, hey, I need somebody to do a soundbite on forensics, or I need to interview somebody on cloud, who should I talk to? We can give them a list of 5 verified experts and say, talk to these people. And they might not all be available, but one of them should be able to help you because they've already told us that they're willing to talk to reporters. And basically, honestly, I'm going to name drop here, but the reason we're doing this is because we're trying to get the Greg Evans and the Ankit Fadias off the air. We want to get people on the news that know what they're talking about, who can talk the data points to the user level as opposed to the professional level, and who aren't just going to spin FUD, and don't know what they're talking about, but just happen to have a good PR person behind them. Yes?
Have you looked into some of the models that the scientific community has used for the same purposes with, say, the movie and TV industry? There's actually an organization out there, I forget the name off the top of my head, I can send it to you later, but it actually takes a list of all the scientists that are relevant, exactly on the same different topics, how much they've spoken, and if they're willing to go and consult or give feedback on the news for areas where science, like physics or biology or chemistry or whatever, in a particular discipline, and in the country that the media outlet is involved in.
So what he's asking is if we're aware that the scientific community has already developed that type of system where you can go in and find somebody in their specialty and they've indicated whether or not they're willing to be interviewed. I haven't. After this is over, please get me that information so I can actually look at the way they do it and see if we can apply that to SECore. That would be great. But that is one of the things that we're hoping to develop. Like I said, we're still in beta. So this is an ongoing process, and right now we're actually even looking for feedback from the community as to how we can make this better without making it bloated. That's the important thing, is to make sure that we don't make it so overwhelming that you can't find what you're looking for anymore. Yes?
You talked about claim this con, like, so that a conference organizer can say, this is my event and whatnot. After they've done that, do you expect or want them to, the following year create their own event, create their own calendar entries for the subsequent events, or are you thinking about an API that somebody can, push to you information about their conferences, or simply conferences they know about, so that you don't have to do all manual data entry, rather review it and make sure that it looks sane and and publishable.
Right. No, absolutely. So when you come back, let me just back out of this. See at the bottom here, it says, is your conference missing? Submit a new conference. So you can go in, you can click on that, you can fill out the information, it'll sit in the queue, and I'll go through and review it to make sure the dates are actually right and all the information that you provided is sound. And then the minute I approve it, it gets pushed to the calendar, it gets pushed to our Twitter stream. Yes?
One question, maybe two. So the first one is, do you guys do any verification when someone clicks claim that conference?
Absolutely. No, it sits in its own queue, and I go through, and if you've tried to claim the conference from a Twitter handle or an AOL address, I ignore it. But if it's coming from a conference address or something, an EDU address, I will send an email to the person who claimed the conference, and I will go to the conference website and find somebody in the contact us and verify through them that this person has permission to have admin access over the conference before I'll approve it.
I think I missed the beginning, but is the calendar, is that like a Google calendar that you can link to in your own, like add it to your own calendar to follow?
That's a really good question. I don't know if we do that?
Pretty sure I find it out following the account.
Let's go to this conference and see what happens if we have the follow this event on.
Save event to calendar.
Yep, there you go. Save event to calendar right there. Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. So you can save it to a calendar. Sometimes, I know the way I operate. So my calendar is completely Google linked on this, and if it's not in the calendar where you can just view things in the future, then and so I link other people's calendar to ours, so that we have like 14 calendars in one view. So I didn't know if you had something like that where you can just push it to the main calendar.
You can easily take the RSS feed and put it in there.
All right.
Do you encourage conferences past to update so that you can see the entire history of a certain conference that's not yet on there?
Absolutely. Yes. The data entry on this, like I said, is just outrageously overwhelming, and the more community participation we can get on this to get our backlog filled, the better. So if you have a conference, or if you even are loosely related to a conference and you can come in and see, hey, you're missing 3 years, let me give you that information because I was there and I remember what the dates were, that would be a great help. Yes?
Is there the social aspect between accounts where if I know somebody I'm friends with and I know that they're speaking in Barcelona, then it would be nice that I either submit mine there or at least collaborate in some form. That way, I can essentially follow other people that are using this system.
At the moment, no. So the question was, basically, do we have a follow a speaker option where I can go in and type in somebody's name and say, oh, this person's speaking here, here, and here. I want to submit to the same conference because we're friends and we want to go hang out in Europe together, right? Yes? We do not yet have that, but that is a great idea, and that is something that I will now make a note of and see if we can't get that worked into the database. But like I said, it's very simple at the moment. It's still in beta, and we still have a long way to go with it. But that is a good idea.
Do we have an internet question?
Yeah,
Yes.
there was just a guy at Wick online. He offered to help you automate your scraping to pull in data. So sent you a tweet.
Okay.
You have one person offering to help.
Okay.
And you also have somebody who submitted a claim for their conference.
Yes!
I think B-Sides Orlando, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
Okay. All right. Good. Any other questions? No?
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the 5-minute unprepared elevator pitch.